Greetings, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette, and this is my channel, Evolve with Monette. I am so happy to be sharing some energy with you today. For those of you that are new, I am a professional intuitive empath, and we're going to jump right into the title of the video, which has to do with our feathered friends, the hawks. Okay, so I am adorned today in the finest of feathering, because I recently had an encounter with an animal totem, and I wanted to share with you what this means, why it came into my life, and how you can use the power to harness it for your life. So the energy of the hawk is all about being inconspicuous and being sure to know exactly what it is you're going after. When we're dealing with hawk energy, we are dealing with an energy where we are being asked to have patience as well as speed. So that seems to be a bit contradictory. How shall we have patience as well as speed? But that is what we are being asked to do when hawk energy comes into our life. So the thing that happened to me is that I was at a model home. I was looking at my dream house, and I was at a model home, and there were builders there, and they were giving tours, and there was a lot happening that day. A lot more traffic than usually is at this place. Yes, I frequent it. I frequent it because that's part of manifestation. When you want something, you put yourself physically in alignment with the thing. And there's only one place in the country that this home is built, and so I'm there a lot. And I don't just hang out and have coffee with them every day, but I have the brochures in my house, which I got years ago, and I have just a lot of things associated with this home. Well, we were going to walk in. We'd already been through the larger model of the home, and we were going into the smaller model of the home. And as we were approaching, Mercury Retrograde has been kicking my butt in readings all day, y'all, and I can't edit yet, so it is what it is. I can't even talk. I'm probably going to say a lot of things that are flubbed today. But as we were approaching the walkway, is what I was trying to say, I noticed this hawk that was circling and circling and circling, and it was high above us, and it was going directly in a circle over the home that we were going to go into. Now, what I thought was interesting, hawk circle, but it just so happened that the home and the frame we were looking at was a circular home, an octagon perhaps, but in that shape, right? And I wanted to be a human. This is one of those moments where my metaphysical energy takes over. I wanted to be a human, and I wanted to go inside and stay on track with the tour. But I was mesmerized by the hawk. Wow, wingspan like 5 feet or less, maybe 4 feet, but it was just powerful. This powerful bird, and I knew that it was a harbinger of much more than just a perfect circular cloud moving over the top of that house. I felt like it was saying welcome home. For one, I did feel that, but I knew that it was about much more than the home. That's a simple pleasure that's added unto you. If you're from a Christian background, you've heard the song, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." That home, when it manifests into my life, will be merely a physical representation of the things that are added on. But the hawk was talking about much more and a much higher insight than snagging a physical possession. It was giving me a glimpse into my future. 420, when I said that, it was giving me a glimpse into my business, which is associated with the number 420. I have a video here on the channel if you'd like to go watch it. It's about business and spiritual business at that. The hawk was letting me know, you have arrived, and I am your next helper, guiding you into the part of life where you need to see and behave and manage yourself with integrity and dignity. But you also need not fear, being swift and vicious if it calls for it. Vicious, you say? Excuse me, Miss Empath, did I click on the right channel? Yes, you did. You clicked on the right channel. This is an empath who's integrating fully into her divine feminine and masculine. I was a little lopsided and it was affecting a lot, and that's also what the hawk comes to teach us about. The hawk calls out because of the way it mates for life. So that's one thing to know about the hawk. I usually find myself very attracted to birds that mate for life, meaning I have them as totems in my home, the sandhill crane being one of them. My husband and I call them our birds. If we were in a fight, we would see our birds. If we weren't speaking but we were in the car driving, the angels would give us a pair of our birds. If we were happy with each other that day, we saw our birds. If it was a good, sexy time, we'd see our birds. We'd call each other to say, these are the birds. And we've seen them, and it means you're being thought of and you are loved. But that's another video, yeah? Here, back to the hawk. The hawk was teaching me that I needed to take a look at who I was spending time around. These birds hunt. They're hunters. And that means you can travel in packs, and it means you need to be discerning about who you have in your pack, who you have in your group, who you spend your time around. That's really important. And that's something that I think we sometimes overlook. But when you are ascending spiritually, especially if you're being called to do spiritual business, it is entirely possible that you will have to use your discernment, because there will be Judases in your midst. In fact, I have a video coming about that. I think I might have merch that says, I've got a video coming. New ideas. Yeah, there will be a Judas in your midst. The video coming is called When Your Judas Appears, Your Blessings Are Near. Okay? That's real talk. It's biblically founded. God modeled it through his son, and his son walked it. And there's some really good juicy stuff about that. But hawk spirit animals and totems deal with you discerning your friendships properly. Do you need to release something? Do you have something of a matter of truth that needs to be exposed? When hawk energy is working with us, we are very much wanting to drag out the thing immediately. Have you ever seen a hawk shaking its prey in its mouth? That's the viciousness, right, of this predator. It waits. It's inconspicuous. It takes its time. It waits for the right moment and for the right opportunity. And as that hawk circled, it spoke to me of a moment that I'm in, of time I need to take, of a way I must proceed in order to achieve my highest aim and the highest good for all persons involved. And then it said something else. Are you ready to soar? When hawk spirit animal comes into your life, you're being asked if you're ready to soar. I have a couple of different cross references, and I'm going to read to you from each, and we'll finish up about how the hawk comes into your life to teach. First, from the Animal Spirit book, which is associated with the cards, fantastic and elevated cards, I must say. Watchful, all-seeing, messenger of divinity. The hawk would also be associated with Archangel Gabriel, who is the messenger. Behold, I bring unto you glad tidings, for unto you this day a child shall be given, a Savior shall be born. I'm probably misquoting that, right? Maybe not verbatim, but Gabriel is a messenger associated with this totem, the hawk. Gabriel is a communicator for creatives. Gabriel helps visionaries plan their next step. Artists. Gabriel helps mothers and children like a hawk, watching that child like a hawk. Do you see the connection? Yes. Watchful, all-seeing, messenger of divinity. The sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail as well as the bigger picture. That is so important to understand. When this card appears, fate has its eyes on you, and the winds are shifting. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly, though it may seem small or insignificant. It will eventually redirect your very course. When in balance, we see clearly and we are intuitive. When out of balance, we see too much and are suspicious. To bring it into balance, we need a perspective shift. In my life, as this hawk entered, I definitely needed a perspective shift. I needed to see that there was a greater good and not just pain in a situation that I thought I couldn't excavate anything good from. The hawk helped me to see how it was divinely guided. Remember what they said about divinely? Divinely. It helped me to understand that what happened, what I allowed, what I partook in, what happened unbeknownst to me, what I was bamboozled with, whatever word I wanted to put on there, whatever adjective, what happened was deeply in the hands of God. This was not just happenstance or a quick moment. There were 1,000 little decisions made by all the parties that were, for me, the Judas, what the hawk wanted me to see. There were 1,000 decisions and 1,000 moments when each person could have turned back or done something different, but each of us stayed on our course because our course was set by a higher energy, by the source, by the all-seeing hawk of a hand. And so we both walked our paths. We made our choices, and the hawk helped me to stay grounded, ironically grounded, from hawk energy. Are you ready to soar? Yes, I said, I'm ready to soar, but first you must be grounded. You cannot act quickly. You cannot be rash. You cannot retaliate. You must educate. That means that you will distill the information before it comes out of your mouth. That means you will find edification and you will find sustenance and you will find kindness, even in words where you have tasted bitterness. The hawk said to me, you will tell your story, but you will tell it in a way that is only for glory and not for a way that's all about just being gory. Can we preach? I mean, that's when spirit comes through. They said this is not just blood and guts. This is deeper. This is bolts and nuts. This is founding principles. This is higher. This is above us. Above us, like the hawk, slowly rotating. Things that rotate, cycles that end, spinning all of us on axes when we thought that we knew what was coming next. That hawk circled and circled, and I stopped in my tracks and I looked up. And I didn't care about the material house before me, and I didn't care about the people stopping and looking at me through their mask, looking up as I looked up. The hawk and I talked. He said, I'm here to help you, and I'm gonna help you. And beyond helping you, I need you to get quiet, and I need you to get still. I'm gonna make you a better observer, and I'm gonna take you into deeper spiritual realms. Because from those realms, and with my higher view, we can bring you into a more spiritual you. We can take you away from the place where you have felt stuck. So I followed the hawk. Specifically in this next book, when the Cooper hawk appears, it's a sign to be patient and watch, to look for the right moment to act when it presents itself. Do so with great speed and agility. Don't be afraid to maneuver closer to your goal, but as inconspicuously as possible before striking. For my empaths watching, the lesson here is that it is okay to strike, but we all are making karmic footprints, and it is imperative to be mindful, just like we are of our carbon footprint, that we are mindful of our karmic footprint. You know, as I was saying carbon footprint, I was thinking about the world that we live in, the air that we all breathe, the air that the hawk is breathing. Be mindful of that carbon footprint, but that karmic footprint in the metaphysical realm, in the 5D realm, matters so much. It matters so much. It's time for you to ascend if you found this video. And it may not be that you have a spiritual based business like me. And it may not be that you understood every single thing that the hawk wants you to see in your life. Meaning you may have saw the hawk and you're here and you're thinking, I don't know what he's trying to say. But see, the hawk wants to take you into a new, learned way. And if you follow, he's going to be teaching more and more. But that teaching is only to facilitate your soar. So you have to go forward and do not be in fear. Call on Gabriel if you need help. He's always near. But this journey is for you, and that means that you might have to leave back a few. And usually if you're leaving some, it will be less than fun. You'll learn lessons in that, and that's why the hawk is here. Because you have to grow. It's time to shift into a new gear. Super happy to share that lesson of the hawk with you today. If you haven't seen a hawk, do what I did and, pull out your favorite ridiculous earrings that have hawk feathers strewn in, or find some oracle cards that have a picture, or just put it on your screensaver. Take a snapshot, take a screenshot, and put it in your phone and save it, because you can be healing from that energy. I feel like it's very auspicious, like with owls as well, but when a hawk comes, it makes me take note, sit up and take note, because there is real growth happening. Okay? Super happy to share some energy with you today. Please, if you've had a hawk encounter, leave it below. I love when we share energy. That's really how we evolve together.